Hi everybody, Coach Amanda here with the Badass Lady Gang, and welcome to Getting Started with Strength. Today we're going through a dumbbell squat. Okay, first thing we're looking to do is figure out where the pelvis is in space. You can look to dump it forward, you can tuck it under in the other direction, and then I want you to find that spot that lands somewhere in between. Next, take a look at where your ribs are in space. Are they lifting up and flaring out? Are you hunching the body forward? Can you find that spot that is somewhere in between? Next, the shoulders. Are the shoulders rounding forward? Lift the shoulders up and roll them back. Not so much that the chest starts to arch. Remember, we want to keep those ribs in so they're aligned over the pelvis. Okay, then put a weight in each hand, and then you slowly bend the knees. You press through the heels and you're shifting your weight into the heels. This is how I like to cue it so that you can get the glute and the posterior chain to do a little bit more work. From there, you lift everything back up. A couple of mistakes that I see. People go down a little bit too far where it begins to hurt their knees. If you are going too deep in the range, make sure that you don't go down as deep. Don't bend your knees as deeply, all right? Keep it pain-free, as simple as that. Another mistake I start to see is sometimes people start to round and come forward like this, and then the weights start coming out in front of them. I want you to keep the weights by the sides of your body and then come back up. Okay, so without further ado, let's do it. I'm grabbing on to a couple of 20-pound weights. All right, and you may need to work up to this, or it may be a good starting point for you. So let's line up the pelvis. Let's line up the rib cage. Let's take those shoulders back, and then we slowly start to bend the knees, rooting through the heels. Press through the heels, and then lift your torso up, making sure that that glute is activated each time you turn on. Sometimes it helps to feel a lifting of that low core and the pelvis coming forward. Let's try it again. We bend those knees and then exhale, coming up. You can see I'm not taking my knees into a really deep range of flexion because I have some chronic knee issues, but it doesn't stop me from doing squats because building up that glute strength and doing the squats are going to help me in the long run. Okay, if you start to get bored with that, there's some ways that you can provide some variation to your activity. You can add in a little bit of rotation with the upper body as you bend the knees and then press through the heels and then come back up. You can do it to the opposite side and then come back up. Just a couple of different ways to do it. Let me put my 20-pound weights down and grab on to my 5-pound weights. Some of you out there are so new to strength, you maybe only have a couple of 5-pound weights at home and you don't really have much more. Here are some ways that you can add some variation so you can have that appropriate challenge with a little bit of a lighter weight. It's a great way to make sure you've got your alignment the right way. But if you would like to do a little bit more, you're bending the knees and you can always pop up and do a little hop up on the top. Bend the knees, pop up on the top. Another way that you can add some variation is changing the direction of your jump. So you can bend the knees, lift up, and turn clockwise or counterclockwise. You can go back into the direction that you came from. So many different options for your squat. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it inspires you to keep moving. I do read the DMs and I will get back to you. So please do message me if you have any questions at all. Happy training.